On the streets of the tri-state, weapons rule. From handguns to high-powered assault rifles.
The officers of the Cincinnati Police Department come across a multitude of types of guns.
Police say they're facing ever-increasing firepower.
The assault weapon type guns to the small caliber, single-shot handguns.
But when criminals are caught, their weapons,
that's an AK-47,
are confiscated.
It's a semi-auto.
But what happens to those weapons after they're seized? Well, the answer to that depends on which side of the river you're on. That's right. Here in Ohio, most of the guns confiscated from criminals are destroyed. But over here in Kentucky, every gun that's seized must by law be sold. That includes guns used in violent crimes, even murder weapons. Welcome to the confiscated weapons sale at the Kentucky State Police Supply Branch, where the bidding is fast and furious.
Number 38, $250, number 38.
Only gun dealers can bid on these confiscated weapons and ammunition. Some dealers have traveled a long way. Where are you from?
Virginia.
Tennessee.
Okay. Many others live closer to home.
Ripley, Ohio. Nicholasville.
When it was over,
how was it today?
It was fun.
The dealers hauled out hundreds of guns.
They layered the line.
Did you get anything good? Nothing?
A few things.
Including assault rifles.
What is this thing?
It's the SKS.
Some had to make more than one trip to get all the guns they bought here.
Still a demand for them?
Yes, a big demand.
To meet that demand, Kentucky passed this law 20 years ago, which mandates all confiscated firearms shall be sold at public auction to federally licensed firearms dealers, with all money going to the state and local police. Last year, confiscated gun auctions in Kentucky brought in more than $628,000. 20% went to the state police. 80% was distributed, as required by law, as grants from Homeland Security to 5 police departments to buy bulletproof vests, guns, and ammunition for officers. We're still waiting on a full list of what was purchased and which departments benefited. Are you surprised?
I am a little bit surprised.
Cincinnati Police Lieutenant Colonel Terry Thege is surprised by Kentucky's law because Ohio law requires a court to approve selling confiscated firearms. Here in Cincinnati, a city ordinance simply says all weapons need to be destroyed for public safety reasons. So you have a municipal code, you have a law, you have a city law that says you must destroy.
Correct.
Last year, CPD destroyed 1,257 firearms. In 2016, CPD destroyed 1,142 guns. All of them melted down at a metal company that's not in Ohio. Would it be Kentucky?
It might be. It might be across the river.
And that is ironic.
That is ironic.
While police don't make policy, CPD is pleased to get rid of the guns.
Just to alleviate that question of whose hands it could possibly get into, the better alternative is to destroy it.
Back across the river in Newport, Police Chief Tom Collins abides by, but does not support Kentucky's mandate to sell seized guns.
I'm not happy about it, and I think any law enforcement officer feels the same way. Once we get a weapon off the street, I don't really want to have to deal with that weapon again.
Chief Collins is so unhappy, he won't accept money collected from that gun auction in Frankfort. So you made a conscientious decision not to get a grant from the sale of the weapons.
That's correct.
You must believe in that very strongly.
I do.
But gun dealers have strong beliefs too, even if they didn't want to talk about that on camera.
But I don't really want to do interviews because I don't really like the media, no offense.
And with a strong law and millions of dollars in sales, the sound of the auctioneer here will not likely be silenced anytime soon.
So, $1,500 number 394.
In the quiet northwestern Ohio village of Rockford, population 1,200, corn is king. But marijuana is now making its mark here too. Thanks to 16 drug-related charges filed against Glenn Keeling and 15 charges filed against his wife, Peggy Kimmel.
They've told us that we're criminals.
Are you criminals?
No.
Are you bad people?
No.
It all began at the couple's home on October 31st.
Halloween night.
Someone knocks and you open it, right?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you see?
About 11 cops.
Those officers had a warrant to search for drugs.
Did they say what they were doing here?
They were here to take my drugs and guns and anything else that I had in the house that I wasn't supposed to.
Were you shocked?
I was.
Glenn suffers from Crohn's disease, and his doctor recommended marijuana as the best medicine.
Did it help you?
Yes. I was able to eat better. I had more of an appetite. I was able to get out of bed.
So when Rockford police officers and Mercer County Sheriff's deputies came, Glenn says he led them straight to his marijuana.
So I just gave them everything. It was like, well, here's everything I have.
But when he tried to show his medical marijuana card issued by an Ohio doctor, it didn't matter.
I said, well, I have a medical card for what I have. And he says, well, there's no medical program in Ohio. I don't care about your card.
They didn't care about Peggy's card issued by the same doctor either.
I said, what is going on? I don't understand.
Peggy suffers from multiple sclerosis. The marijuana, she says, was a miracle medicine.
I can walk without using a cane or a walker.
Recommended by a doctor, marijuana had replaced countless pills, shots, and other pharmaceuticals that a biopsy revealed were harming Peggy's liver.
I was scared to death because I thought if you don't have a liver, you just die.
Peggy's 14-year-old daughter, Tina, watched as marijuana helped her mom improve.
My mom could walk.
Tina was awakened by police. That night, they came into her home.
What do you think about all the police coming in and doing this?
I was scared. I didn't know what was going on.
Among the charges Peggy and Glenn face, a count of child endangering. Even though Mercer County Child and Family Services stated that the family has many strengths, including a desire to protect Tina and provide for her basic needs when it closed the case.
They feel that she is safer with us than anywhere else.
But safety has been shattered for the entire family. That night, the police came.
I ended up leaving with them.
In cuffs?
Yes, in cuffs.
I reached out to the prosecutor, Matt Fox, to discuss the case. He sent files, but declined to comment.
All rise.
On June 13th, we were in the Salina courtroom as Peggy and Glenn faced a judge. Prosecutor Fox argued that their bond be conditional on drug testing.
They consume no alcohol or drugs of abuse and subject themselves to random testing.
Peggy's attorney argued marijuana is essential medicine.
Over the past few months, there have been an increasing number of lesions on her brain. Using of the marijuana tends to alleviate some of her suffering.
And in a surprise move, the judge agreed, issuing bond conditions that include use of medical marijuana. Now, paperwork is posted at the same door police walk through on Halloween night to advise anyone who enters that Peggy and Glenn are legally using medical marijuana, even though they're still facing serious charges for doing just that.
If you could say one thing to this prosecutor, what would you say?
I'm sorry that he thinks I'm a criminal. I did not knowingly do anything wrong. I am not a criminal. I am afraid so bad I would not ever break the law on purpose of any kind.
All right, hop up there, Dwayne, if you want to take a look.
At this massive marijuana grow facility near New York City,
Holy cow. Whoa.
thousands of marijuana plants grow in greenhouses.
This is a lot of marijuana bud going on here.
Each plant is nurtured.
All of it's like precisely monitored here.
To produce, that seems like a lot of buds per plant. Huge yields.
That's what we're shooting for.
PharmaCann, a Chicago-based company that will soon be operating a grow facility like this in Ohio, has been cashing in on cannabis for years. How many buds are in this room?
768 times that 150.
That's more than 115,000 buds. In another section,
This is the extraction facility.
to get oil.
It's about 70% THC.
That's worth a lot of money.
250K, 500K, 500K, 500K.
So $1.75 million here.
Something like that, yeah. Give or take.
That's mind blowing.
That oil is at the center of a wide range of medical marijuana products. By law, those products are stored in here. And behind this door in this safe, tens of millions of dollars worth of medical marijuana products. Security here
You got to card us in here.
is tight.
We're being watched.
Yeah, there's security cameras in every room.
A series of sophisticated cameras connect to monitors.
From the greenhouse all the way to the end, you're on camera.
308 cameras in all, providing 360-degree views of every inch of this massive facility. Playback proves we were always in focus.
So you've been watched since the minute you walked in the building.
On the outside walls
is our intrusion detection system.
A series of sensors that can tell the difference between a touch and trying to cut through.
Those are actually going to tell you if that wall has been cut.
Yeah. But the key to preventing theft begins and ends with this barcode. Every plant carries one.
Tracked.
Every step of the way.
The whole way through?
The whole way through.
If even one plant is missing, they'll know.
If somebody wanted to get to the marijuana,
They'd do something other than break into this facility.
Jeremy Unruh, one of the founders of PharmaCann, says the high security here is required by law.
the security level here with the cameras and all that's going to be in Ohio as well?
That's right, the same footprint.
Really?
Yeah.
In Arlington Heights near Chicago, security is just as tight at this dispensary owned by PharmaCann. The medical marijuana is in the back behind these glass doors.
But because we don't have one of these, we can't get in there.
Everything's locked up, cameras everywhere. You got a key in every different room.
And the security system here is intelligent.
This camera can capture license plates. That camera can capture your face before you walk in the door. And when you get inside, dozens more cameras, all searchable by face. More cameras in here than a bank or a pharmacy.
And the medical marijuana products continue to be tracked using that barcode.
These seed to sale tracking systems are our inventory control, our anti-diversion system.
That's another word for anti-theft. All this security may seem like overkill, but it's all required by law, including the new laws that will control the marijuana here in Ohio.
If the policymakers want us to have super secure facilities like this, then we're happy to give them that.